Before online wikis and video walkthroughs became ubiquitous, there was the humble game guide. Half-Life 2's official guide is over 300 pages long, although part of that is inexplicably dedicated to Counter-Strike Source, so only about 2/3 is Half-Life related. It was written by David Hodgson, who also worked on the Half-Life 2 Raising the Bar book. Both of these books are considered to be a source of Half-Life 2 canon by the Combine Over wiki, so I wanted to check and see what I could learn by reading through the entire Half-Life 2 official guide. Well, I read the whole guide, and well, it doesn't really contain much hidden Half-Life knowledge. So instead, here are all the weird, funny, and interesting things I found inside the Half-Life 2 official guide. On page 9 of the guide, we get descriptions of some of the most basic things not only in Half-Life 2 but in real life as well. Here are some quotes. Climbing ladders can be treacherous until you employ the technique of pressing E to grab and release your grip on the ladder. This lets you negotiate ladders without fear near precipices. Heading up and down stairs is a simple concept. Doors appear in a variety of shapes and types. Personally, I am deeply concerned for anyone whose first introduction to the concept of stairs was the Half-Life 2 official guide. On page 10, they have a mistake by omission. They note that your crossbow and crowbar work underwater, but they forget that the pistol also works underwater. I don't know if that was something that was changed late in the development of Half-Life 2. Maybe this is a sign that it was. On page 12, they refer to random objects in the game as scenic debris. On page 17, the antlion guard is given a scientific name, Myrmidont giganticus. I think some Half-Life 1 species have scientific names, though apparently headcrabs do not. On page 18, we learn that the scout car belongs to Eli Vance. On page 20, we find out the full title of Gordon Freeman's graduate thesis. On page 22, we find out that Alex Vance's mom is named Asian, which is spelled like Asian with a Z. That's quite the name, folks. In the bestiary section, where we do find more information about the citizens of City 17, we are also given threat levels for each of the enemies in the game, which is supposed to tell you how concerned you should be when they show up in the levels. Interestingly, leeches are given the same threat level as poison headcrab and fast headcrab zombies. And scanners are given a threat level of 1, even though they are the most fucking annoying thing in the game. Also, headcrab zombies are shown in attacking poses without the headcrabs on their head, implying that maybe at some point they could survive having the headcrab removed? I don't know. Usually I believe in game if you remove the headcrab, the zombie dies. Sometimes you can kill the zombie part and the headcrab will survive, but I don't think it works the other way around. So after the book gives a brief introduction on the game, it actually goes into an excruciating amount of detail of how to beat Half-Life 2. So it basically gives you a play-by-play walkthrough of the entire game. There are some interesting parts to this guide, like the top-down views they give of all the levels. Those look really nice, but honestly, explaining how to go through Half-Life 2, a almost completely linear game, is a little tedious. So I'm just going to give you a few of my favorite lines from this. On page 43, the guide refers to this City 17 citizen as a dejected chap sitting at the table. On page 49, we find out that Dr. Kleiner was on the cover of Popular Science. On page 214, we find that the Combine teleport explosion registered on Kleiner's seismographic printout. On page 147, we get an interesting callback to one of my previous videos, which was about the antlion mounds. In this guide, they are referred to as antlion nests, which is simply more proof for those who doubted that they are in fact related to antlions. On page 268, we get another mention of the amazing blurring effects of the energy ball. I don't know, this keeps coming up in the guide. I think it's mentioned, at least 2 other times. I just found it funny that they were very impressed by the fact that when you pick up the energy ball, the screen goes blurry. I guess back in 2004, that was cutting edge technology. I mean, it probably was. And that's basically everything interesting from the guide. Most of it is, as I said, dedicated to telling you how to beat the completely linear game of Half-Life 2. So it basically says go forward, turn right, turn left, shoot this guy, move these crates, that sort of thing. It's very basic. It's not as interesting to read as the Half-Life 2 Raising the Bar, which has a lot of really interesting details and behind the scenes knowledge from Half-Life 2. But it's still a piece of gaming history. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did enjoy this video, consider subscribing. Maybe I'll do a video about Half-Life 2 Raising the Bar. Although I imagine that other people have covered that book in great detail.